Welcome to the Open Pro Shootdown. Before we introduce the archers, if we could get a quick round of applause for these three men right here, Levi Morgan, Jeff Hopkins, Dan McCarthy. These three men represent 20 Shooter of the Year titles between them. Your fifth place qualifier with a 416 and 10 bonus rings from Wisconsin, shooting for Matthews, Dan McCarthy. Making his return to the Open Pro division from Iowa, shooting for Martin Archery, Jeff Hopkins. From Uniontown, Pennsylvania, shooting a 418 with 13 bonus rings, shooting for Matthews, Levi Morgan. .420 points and 14 bonus rings from Ontario, New York, shooting for Elite Archery, Tommy Gomez. With a monstrous 424 and 16 bonus rings, shooting for Prime and G5 from Atlantic, Pennsylvania, Kenny Lantz.
All right, so that stage is set. Kenny Lantz, our #1 qualifier, 16 bonus rings as well, sitting on a 424 heading into this event. And he is in lane #1 is Lantz from Pennsylvania. It's about an hour north of Pittsburgh. Big Pirates fan. He was shooting with a Pirates hat the whole time is Kenny Lantz. Full family event for him. I'm going to tell you something about Lantz, okay? I was talking to his wife earlier today. There's Kenny. And she said, listen, as soon as we're done with this shoot-off, I'm not sure if we're going to have time for this shoot-down. I'm not sure if we're going to have a time for an interview because their son, who's up in Pennsylvania, has a wrestling match tomorrow. So they got to get in the car, they got to drive all night, and then go to see their son wrestle tomorrow. So Kenny, this is the first time that he's been able to close it out. He's led before as a pro after day 1, but never in this position in day #2.
He's in a tough spot because he's got 4 guys behind him that will let it all hang out that aren't here for second place.
No doubt. Kenny Lantz, 10-year pro. This guy right here, Levi Morgan, what can you say? 12 Shooter of the Year.
Look at Tommy Gomez.
Gomez going for it.
See, they're going to put the pressure on Kenny. Kenny's, I don't know how many shoot downs he's been in, but it's hard to hang on to a lead.
And then this guy right here, Dan McCarthy.
He's got a pretty slow shot, too. He's got 14 seconds left, so he should be plenty of, there it goes.
Yeah, that one looks like a 10 for him. He was our winner at round 3 in Paris, Texas last year. Levi Morgan, of course, winning 4 of these to end the season. We had 7 rounds last year, and Levi Morgan won the last 4 in a row.
Kenny starts with a 10 right there. Tommy is going to come and join him real quick.
Great shot on the 14. So Gomez makes a statement early, ties up at the top, 434 apiece. Just like that, Tommy Gomez lighting it up. It's our 3rd place qualifier.
Levi's not going to like where that arrow landed.
Yeah, Levi Morgan. So Levi taking a little beating on that arrow. That's going to drop him to well, it moves him up to a 426, but it's going to drop him further behind. So now an 8-point deficit for Levi Morgan out of 1st place.
It's good to see Jeff shooting this good. I talked to his wife earlier. I know he's been working hard, and I spoke to Jeff yesterday and asked him why he went back to Open Pro instead of staying in senior. He said, you know, as you get older, it gets harder. This is his only opportunity to still compete in the Open Pro, so he didn't want to miss that chance, and it's good to see him out there in the shoot-down at the first tournament of the year.
And he is an absolute stud, Jeff Hopkins.
No doubt.
And he's in with a 10. Dan McCarthy in with a 10 as well. There's this Howlin' Wolf. Look at the score you can see.
Wow.
Tied up all across the board. Tied for the lead and tied for third place at the moment.
Third, fourth, fifth is we got a couple big races going on right here with a lot of arrows to go. Tommy should be feeling really confident right now. If he 12s this long deer, look out. He went a little low. A lot of left arrows on that animal for some reason.
What do you think about putting the foliage around the animals as well? Nice little touch.
Yeah, it kind of looks like what we shot in today. A lot of low undergrowth out there.
Ooh. So for Dan McCarthy, he threw that one way high.
Boy, he went after it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He was just a little bit toasty.
That's what I was saying earlier. These guys, these are 4 guys behind Kenny that aren't afraid to let it all hang out.
That's going to be Dan McCarthy.
He shot high on that taper too. He did not get calibrated like some of the other people did.
Lantz, it's going to be a 10. So our shooter tied for the lead goes to 444. Next up should be Tommy.
He's a little low there. He's going to give a couple back that he gained on that javelina.
On a large HD. Arrow's already in the target, so some of these shooters just ignoring the score already and getting set. So Gomez, who had tied it up after arrow number 1, will slide 2 behind Kenny Lantz. Levi Morgan not playing around on this one.
That's inside out.
That's a clean 12. So a clean bonus ring for Levi. That'll move him to within 4 points of 438.
I'd say he's recalibrated now. Ooh, that was Jeff's there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sure was.
Wow.
So Jeff Hopkins at a 431 though, so now tied again with Dan McCarthy. So they were tied at 416 coming in. They both shot 10s, Hopkins, McCarthy, 2 at the bottom and 5s, so 431s. So Levi,
long way to go.
6 points out of first.
We're going to see Hopkins and McCarthy go crazy here at 14s.
There's our leader, Lantz. 10 years of pro shooting for prime G5.
He's holding good there. Good arrow on that long deer. That's Levi, isn't it?
Tommy Gomez glassing. Taking a look as we go to target number 1.
Ooh.
That's going to be Hopkins. So Hopkins nails that one.
Guy's got some game.
10-time world champ, 10-time shooter of the year, 7 consecutive, 66 national titles for this big boy.
Shooting a Martin. Jeff's new to Martin this year. Working well for him.
Absolutely.
Wow, there they go. I'd say they're calibrated now. Look out.
So a 14 for Hopkins, 14 for Danny McCarthy.
I don't know that anybody's hit a bonus ring on that long deer yet until now. He may have it. That's close. That's a good shot at it, though.
It's a good argument for shooting big fat arrows.
There's a lot of arrow up in that 11 ring. The 11 is the IBO ring, which is not counted here, but it's separated a little bit from the 12. But there's a lot of that arrow in the 11, so sometimes that's a telltale that it may not be touching that 12. Good look right there. A little too bright to see where the line is by that light.
Ooh, that's so close.
Looks just a hair wide with that quick look we had there.
We're going to stick with it.
I'm going to say 10 is what I'm going to say.
10 it is. So 10 for Lantz on that one.
That was Kenny. I was thinking that was Levi.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry about that.
No, that was my fault. Still a good run at it there, Kenny.
So 554 for Lantz.
This is Tommy. Good
Gomez,
10
ring.
Tommy. He'll be upset he didn't get a ring on that one. That's not too long of a target.
Yeah. Still 2 points, the difference between first and second. That was now 452 for Gomez. And Levi a 10 on the taper. So all stays the same up top. Oh, look at that impact.
That was McCarthy there, wasn't it? No, that was Hopkins.
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was Hopkins, dead center of that 14.
Sure was. And that was on that new Howling Wolf. Introduced this year. We have 2 of the new targets that are in this shoot down for the 2019 Hoyt Pro-Am. The scores show you the tail. 2 difference between Lantz and Gomez. And then Levi Morgan still in the hunt as we sound off our 4th of 5 arrows.
I think Levi will go with the 14. I can't see if he did, but
We've got Pittsburgh Pirates hat that Lantz is wearing is good luck for him. Ooh, and he drifts it a little wide, but it's going to catch a 10.
He stayed 10, didn't give anything back there. Oh, wow.
Ooh, that's a close one.
That's a close one. Is that McCarthy on that long deer? This is interesting. This is going to be an interesting round right here.
Target number 1.
He's got it.
A 14 for Levi Morgan, and he does what Levi does. He gets aggressive.
You can never count him out.
Never count him out. So he goes to 462. If Gomez has a 10, that means all of a sudden he's all tied up. Hopkins in with an 8. Okay, so now Hopkins and McCarthy have been dueling this out for 4th place. They've been all tied up. So Dan has an opportunity to grab a couple of points.
And he went at the 14 on that long target. And looky there.
Wow. Great shot by our crew.
That's some serious.
That was a teaser shot. You see that?
That's ridiculous talent right there.
Yeah.
Great shot, Dan McCarthy.
2 14s in a row from McCarthy will give him a pole vault. That'll move him into 4th overall. That also moves him to just 3 points behind Levi Morgan.
Here's Kenny with a 10.
464.
Ooh, that's only 2 points between Kenny and Levi now.
That's right. So now as Gomez looks like he's in at a 10. So all of a sudden, here comes Levi Morgan. So this is the way it's ended up right now. 464 for Lantz. He's still holding it by 2. Levi is now tied Tommy Gomez, and just a couple points behind on the bottom is McCarthy. He's only 3 points behind Gomez and Morgan with this 5th arrow. And remember, anyone within 10 points will get that 6th bonus.
I think Tommy goes at the 14 here.
Okay.
I think Levi may. It's the closest target.
It's the javelina for Levi.
Jeff has no choice. McCarthy will shoot the 14 on the turkey, and Kenny's probably going to try to hit the 12 on the taper.
Lantz all the way on target number 5.
Let's see if I'm right on any of this.
You have been so far.
Levi shot an 8. That's going to hurt.
Yeah. Looks like a 10.
Kenny didn't give anything back.
So now it's on Gomez's shoulders.
Tommy's looking to see what's going on out there.
10 for Gomez. Looks like a 10 for Gomez. So it looks like it's going to be a 2-point spread. So Gomez will log a 10.
He didn't shoot at the 14 then. Levi did. He's got an 8 there, a little tall.
470 for Levi Morgan after that 8.
So he's going to be 4 points behind Kenny. Hopkins smoked that long deer. He said, watch this, McCarthy. It's a good look right there. That's a tough shot. That's a long animal to guess the distance and then hit that 14 ring.
So Jeff Hopkins to a 467.
So that's going to put him.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? For Dan McCarthy, 3 14s in a row. Not even flinching. Still 4 points ahead of Hopkins in 4th spot. 3 points behind Levi Morgan.
74. So McCarthy's in second.
McCarthy is in 2nd place.
Tommy will be in 3rd.
So now we have Kenny Lantz, who's got a 474. Look at the bottom. Dan McCarthy at 473. Gomez at 72. Morgan at 70.
And everybody's going to shoot a 6th and final arrow. There you have it.
The Open Pro crazy train is chugging down the tracks.
Wow. Now, who's leading? Is Kenny still in the lead? He is. So Kenny's going to be the last shooter. So he's going to get to watch everybody either cream the bonus rings or fall off the tracks here. So he's going to know what he has to do.
Second arrow goes to Levi Morgan. Third arrow goes to Tommy Gomez.
All right. Now, they're going to move him to the ASA spot, which is back off of the line. You can see it bottom part of your screen right there, ASA. And they're just going to put this thing randomly somewhere on this course.
I'd like to see him bring it in fairly close.
Oh, you really want to mess with them?
Yeah, I would really mix it up to get it in that 35 to 37 yard range.
You kidding me? I want to see him go to 18.
Oh, I did one at like 8 a couple years ago. It didn't work out so well.
Didn't work out so well.
No, I didn't have a sight setting for that.
So 5 arrows in the books. We're taking the entire lot.
You can see that ring, that core right there, that where that insert is. That's very easy to see naked eye and in your scope. And then faintly out to the top at 2 o'clock. That's what a lot of these guys are probably going to shoot at, that 14. If they hit that, they force these other guys to do things they're not comfortable with. So it's not easy to see up there. There's a good reference by the core line, but knowing exactly where you're at and guessing the distance, that's not easy to do.
But right now, in control is going to be Kenny Lantz, because we know Levi Morgan, he's 4 points back, so he's going for that 14.
Yep.
And Tommy Gomez is going to be 2 points back, so
hard telling.
Right?
Tommy,
maybe 12.
The thing about this is not a single guy out there came here for second place.
Right.
So I think you have to lay it on the line here, risk finishing in 5th to get the win, and I think these guys are going to go 14 hunting.
All right, so we're on our final arrow. Now, if Levi Morgan shoots a 14, if Tommy Gomez shoots a 12, and Kenny Lantz shoots a 10, we're going to have a 3-way tie up top.
We're going to shoot a 7th arrow.
Right.
Bonus rings cannot break a tie for first place.
And don't forget Dan McCarthy in a position, because he's actually in 2nd, but he's an odd number. So, you have a 47 leading the way. I mean, a 474 leads the way. A 473 in 2nd place. So this shooter right here could ruin it all and capture the moment and win another ASA, the Hoyt Pro-Am of 2019.
I've said it many times before about Dan McCarthy. He hits them when he has to. I've watched Dan shoot some arrows that I myself would be nervous as a I don't know what, but man, he hits them when he has to. So he's going to shoot next to last. I would not be surprised to see him smoke a 12 or 14, depending on what these other guys do, and really put the pressure on Kenny.
McCarthy just looks so calm, cool, and collected. They all do. I mean, in terms of experience out there, you have Hopkins, he's 26 years a pro. Levi Morgan, 14 years. Gomez, 15. Even Lantz, 10. And, of course, this shooter right here, McCarthy, at 15. So Hopkins going to lead us off.
Nothing to lose. Shoot that 14.
Ooh.
Sound like
that was a big miss on that one, I believe. So Hopkins going to score a 0 on that one. He missed the target altogether. So he'll sit on a 467. And that's going to lock up 5th place for him.
Great showing for Jeff regardless. Coming back to Open Pro, getting in the shoot down, he shot well.
And that arrow probably is dead too, I'm thinking.
Yeah, Mike might have to pay for a patch job back there somewhere. Hopefully that curtain caught it.
I think it went right through. I got to imagine that Hopkins, with that draw length, I mean, I know it's 290 feet per second, but that thing was.
Levi went to his hinge. He's going to smoke this 14.
You can see right part of the screen, the sweet spot Levi Morgan's
using.
He's
moving a little bit. Oh, it's close.
He went for it.
I don't know if he's going to get it. I think it's going to be a little low right. That's an 8.
An 8 for Levi Morgan. So Levi thought he had it, but it's just out to the right.
He thought he had it.
So Levi Morgan went for broke. It didn't pay off this time. So for Levi Morgan, he's in the books with a 478.
Tommy's pretty serious here. Let's see what he does. I expect him to go for it too.
He does. He drops it out.
A little low right.
Okay, so for Gomez, that's going to take him to 480.
480. So he's going to finish
Minimum third.
worst case third.
Yep. Boy, so far, Darren Christianberry, we've seen a 0 and 2 8s. You could tell the pressure is mounting here. Now, it's Dan McCarthy, who's done something incredible. He came in with a 416.
I think Dan shoots a 12 right here.
Okay.
Because he's only 1 point behind Kenny. If he 12s it, Kenny has to hit a bonus ring to win. No sense in going for the 14. I mean, unless he wants to force Kenny to shoot for the 14.
Yeah.
But I think Dan has better aiming spots aiming at that 12.
And oh, by the way, an 8 still guarantees him second place.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't shoot a 5, he's got second. But I think he shoots the 12 here and forces Kenny to hit a ring to win. So steady.
Ooh, that went flying. He just missed it
under.
south.
So Kenny needs,
Oh, an 8.
puts him at 81.
That'll
So he
put
takes second right now.
Yep.
Kenny needs what?
Well,
7 point. He needs an 8 to win.
he needs an 8 to
He
win.
needs an 8 to win.
That's right.
Center of the core, make the best shot you can make, and you take the win.
After a string of 14s for Dan McCarthy, he shoots an 8. So the best score we've seen so far on this 6th arrow of the Open Pro Shootdown here at the 2019 Hoyt Pro-Am is an 8. 3 8s and a 0.
Big deep breath for Kenny there. Let's see how he executes this. He just needs to put it in the center of that core, make a great shot, and he's going to get his first Open Pro win that I'm aware of.
Kenny Lantz, the biggest arrow of his archery career to date.
Nice and steady, looks good.
Lets it go
There
and
he goes.
plays it safe for the win.
Good for Kenny.
So Kenny Lantz, your champion, 2019 Hoyt Pro-Am here in Foley, Alabama. He'd been dominant all weekend long, came in here as the #1 qualifier, and he's able to close it off with a 10.
Man, how about that? Your first pro win, wire to wire, coming into the shoot-off. 10s to win across the board. Come on, man, tell us how you're feeling right there. I see a little quiver.
It's very emotional right now. It's been a long time coming. I've put in a lot of time at this and paid my dues. And look, I'm shooting against the Hall of Fame of archery right here this week. I want to send this one out to my grandma. I lost. Yeah, she's 87, and I know she's watching right now. And this week's my father passed away almost 3 years ago, and this week's his birthday, and it's kind of been on my mind. And I just wanted to go get this one for her. And God's good. I really believe that. And there's something else in here working besides me. So it was awesome.
Well, congratulations. Who's with you? I heard your wife is here with you. And you got to race home because you got a wrestling match.
Yes, sir. My boy has got to wrestle to go to States tomorrow, so I got to get in the car and get heading. So, yeah, got to get there. Hopefully, Daddy showed him he could win. He can go win tomorrow. So.
Well, congratulations, man. I know this one means a lot to you and the whole family. What a birthday present. And congratulations on your first pro win. They've got a big cardboard check over there for you and a whole lot of money.
Thank you.
Congratulations, man.
So when all is done and dusted, 484, a 3-point victory for Kenny Lantz. Incredible. Here's a replay of the arrow that won it all for the Pennsylvania native. A solid 10 in the books, his first pro win, and now to rush home for a state wrestling championship. Let's take another break. When we come back, we're gonna have the known pro that'll wrap things up for round number 1 of the McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour right here in Foley, Alabama.
Vince Lombardi once said, winning is not a sometime thing, it's an all-time thing. You don't do things right once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. I've learned in my career I'm only as good as the tools I use.
12 for Levi Morgan.
One chance, one moment, One shot.
We don't build these bows to be different. We build them to be better. We're the outsiders, the mavericks, the fearless. We forge our own path. We're not chasing anyone, but we know what they're running from. It's an obsession, and the obsessed never rest.
The ASA is brought to you by Elite Archery, Obsession Bows, and Last Chance Archery.